Hello everybody, PsyStarcraft here with another Heart of the Swarm. Wait, this isn't Heart of the Swarm. This is Starbo with another Starbo commentary. I am PsyStarcraft on the bottom right as the pink Zerg. This is a custom map, so you get to choose your colors. And then at the top left, as I promised in yesterday's or last night's video, is TT1, the actual TT1. I checked his ladder history. It's definitely him. He's a pretty big fan of Starbo. We found each other in the Starbo chat, much like a Craigslist misconnection. It was love at first sight. And now we are playing some 1 versus 1 Starbo. As you can see, this is a replay cast because I wasn't really prepared hardware-wise to cast this as I was playing it. But I see a lot of you in the comments, you know, a little bit skeptical about Starbo, especially because you claim that I love the game so much because I only win, which is kind of silly. It's very cynical of all of you. I thought you knew me better. But I'm going to start showing you some games against people like TT1, other Grandmasters, other pros, stuff like that. So there's a possibility of me losing. I know it's shocking to think about Psy losing, but there is that possibility now. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Starbo, for those of you who aren't familiar and have been living in a gutter for the past, 69 years, it's basically a StarCraft 1 Brood War, StarCraft 2 hybrid. It takes StarCraft 1 economy, a lot of the same units, and pairs it with some of the StarCraft 2 units, and some of the AI movements and principles and stuff like that. But it's a lot of fun. It's taken off. I wouldn't say it's balanced yet. It's definitely a work in progress, a lot to go, but it's much more fun than fucking StarCraft 2 because David Kim's a piece of shit. You guys all know that. I cannot believe the Hydra change is even considered to go through. 100 minerals, 25 gas. That's just game breaking. Like, how about you just fucking change the power of the Hydra instead of changing it to 25 gas? If the Hydra stays that it is, and it's now 25 gas, like, all Zerg are going to go Hydra's PVZ. You can just do like a Hydra timing and win games immediately, it seems like. So I almost guarantee that's not going to go through in the test realm, or go through after the test realm, and if it does go through after the test realm, everybody should switch to Starbo then. But anyway, we are seeing a 12 hatch, 13 pull out of myself, TT1 going for a gateway opener, and he's actually chrono boosting the Zealot. Chrono boost in this game is a little bit different than in StarCraft 2. It increases the speed of all buildings by 50%, except for gateways increases the speed by 100%. So you can create Zealots very fast. And obviously something like this, which is so varied and different from StarCraft 2, requires a lot of balance. So we'll see what happens to chrono boost and other macro mechanics like that. But TT1 already chrono boosting out 2 Zealots, so he's choosing to chrono boost out the Zealots as well as the pros because you start with 50 energy once you upgrade that Nexus. And he's going to be sending those Zealots across the map. Now, remember, in Starbo, Queens cannot attack unless they use energy, and you typically want to save that energy to transfuse buildings to help them produce faster. So he is searching for me right now, and I haven't scouted at all. You'll see I have complete no map awareness. I don't think I saw the Zealot on the minimap. And 2 Zealots against just a couple of Lings is kind of scary, and really as Zerg you want to drone up as much as you can at this point. Here come the 2 Queens injecting some larvae into those hatcheries. And these 2 Zealots are actually going to be annoying because I don't want to enrage, so I might be dancing my Queen around. Looks like I'm going to be going for a 3rd base as well. So I'm going to be doing a 5 hatch Hydra, it looks like. And I don't have any Lings to deal with this, so 2 Zealots, pretty annoying. TT1 realizes the kind of damage that these Zealots can do, which is why you're going to see just that. Inject needs to be going down right here. I do see these Zealots maybe panicking a little bit. Hydrogen is on the way, and oh my gosh, this Queen is getting trapped on the ramp. That is not good at all, and she's slow off creep. That's just unlucky. That's just me panicking, me being a fucking idiot. So that's definitely not a very characteristic move of mine. 4 Lings on the way. Should be enough to take down these Lings if you add it to the 2 right here. Meanwhile, TT1 expanding and probing up like crazy. And look at this harvester count, man. Toss can get so many probes so fast. 28 to 21. You really don't want to lose your Queen, and you really want to Ling or drone up instead of Ling up as a Zerg. And a couple things could have prevented this. 1, an enraged Queen. 2, scouting the Toss in the first place with the drone. 3, maybe 1 spine crawler. But already we're seeing a macro disadvantage on my part just because TT1 did so much damage with just a couple Zealots. What did he get? 1 kill. He got 3 kills, 1 of which was a Queen. I think 1 was actually a drone. Yeah, 1 was a drone, 1 was a Ling. So kind of silly for me to be opening up this way. But, it's not over. I'm not going to give up. And this drone actually isn't making a hatchery anymore, so that's kind of a bummer, too. Usually you want to get 3 hatcheries down right away, so this is quite ugly. I've got some Hydras out. That's going to easily deter these Zealots. You can just kite fairly well. Is he going to be able to pick off the drone? No, the drone is going to be microed away. TT1 meanwhile now switching into Corsairs. So Corsairs, that lovely, lovely Brood War unit that you all remember so fondly. And already this game is just kind of looking like a disaster. If you guys are interested in playing Starbow, there is no matchmaking system. You basically go into the Starbow group or the Starbow chat, and TT1 actually losing a chrono boost, so uncharacteristic of him. Everybody makes mistakes, not just me, although I make a lot more. And one Corsair coming out, possibly to force, you know, a lot of spores, some Hydra, something like that, pick off a couple stray scouting overlords. So I think that's really smart. You know, you might need this Stargate in the future, and you've got that one Corsair to really pick off a lot of overlords, do some scouting, etc., etc. So now goes the third hatchery. Much later than it should be. We are seeing the Hydra groove spines. We've got another hatchery on the way. So we've got 3 hatch, 4 hatch. We do need a 5th hatch at the natural eventually. But I'm still struggling, really struggling to make drones. If we check out the worker count now, he is sitting at 2 above me. That's just because he doesn't really want to produce too many. 14 on 7 patches is ideal, and 18 on 9 patches is ideal. He needs a couple more probes here. You can see him producing those. And looks like I'm just going to go on the Hydra route, trying to mix defenses with macro. We are seeing the third base about to finish. Gas going up at the natural. I think this gas is actually too soon. You can really fund Hydras off of one gas very easily for quite a while, and you really want to get that mineral saturation going so you can get more drones, more hatcheries, and, you know, even more Hydras, because Hydras are not very gas intensive. So obviously this game was played a little while ago. I think it was played like 3 or 4 days ago, which, you know, in Starbow terms, considering it's only been out for I've only been playing it for just a couple weeks, a week or two, if that. Actually, I think just like maybe a week and a half, whatever. Anyway, what was I saying? I don't remember. Something about not getting the third base down. But he's going to be assaulting the third base. Luckily, the Hydra does have speed. Hydras, when they have speed, I believe are about the same speed as Zealots, 3.14, and... oh, geez, my Hydras are so out of position. I was looking for a third, and Hydras are a little bit slower than Zealots. Looks like he's actually going to back off. He might have spotted these Hydras and thought I was going to be aggressive, so now he's going to back off. He could have done tremendous damage with these Zealots had he stayed, but, you know, he's not perfect. Zealots are very good against Hydras. They use, in Starbow, they use the Brood War mechanic of damage, where, you know, units do explosive damage or concussive damage. And explosive damage does 50% to light, 75% to medium, and 100% to armored. Zealots are light units, so Hydras, while they do have range and do have kiting potential against Zealots, they don't do a lot of damage against Zealots, so this is a perfect mineral sink for Protoss to use against Hydras. And I don't have that many. I really got to get away. And it looks like TT1's going to be going for the hatchery. No, he's going to be backing off. Might be able to snipe that Dragoon. This isn't a lot of Hydras, though. I feel like TT1 might benefit just from A-moving. And here's where the kiting comes into play. More Hydras being rallied. No Lurkers on the field. Lurkers extremely... no, need to kite more side. Lurker's extremely potent against Zealots. Enraging this Queen would be a really good idea. Trying to bottleneck him on the ramp. But remember, in Starbow, shooting uphill, you missed 50% of attacks. So... with the kiting of the Hydras and the enraging of the Queen, I am able to push this attack back. TT1 now gathering his third base, and High Templar on the way. And you guys, if you thought High Templar were good before in Brood War, imagine them with the same amount of damage, 112. Actually, I think it might have been 124 before, but 112 damage, AoE, smart casting. Now remember, Brood War did not have smart casting. High Templar are so freaking good. One could argue that High Templar are the Colossi of Starbow. You know, you just kind of mass a whole bunch of them and just kill your opponent. So I'm going for a little bit of a counterattack. Hydra's threading each and every way, spotting these Zealots out in the field. No upgrades on the Hydras, and only one upgrade now coming. Oh, I'm getting sandwiched. That's not good. Need to run out of there. Storm coming down, almost clipping some of the, well, clipping some of the Hydras. Not quite the greatest storm, but you know, obviously Storm is replenishable, so he's not too worried about that. And the Templar and Starbow have 2 upgrades, the first being Storm, obviously, and the second increasing the regeneration rate of High Templar. Now, a lot of the classes, except for Zerg, have upgrades to increase regen rates of casters, and I'm kind of skeptical as to if that should exist. It seems really good, like really good, especially when Zerg, I guess Zerg have their own regeneration mechanics. The Viper can consume buildings and Devourers can consume units, but I mean, that's using units, it's using way more micro. It just seems really good for Storm and Irradiate to have increased regen, but you know, the verdict is out on that one. 5 Templar just kind of chilling. 4th base coming up for myself, and again, my Harvester count still should probably be a lot higher. I'm now almost maxed on that, Max on the natural as well, you know, just missing 1 or 2 harvesters at each base. So I'm fully saturated on 3 base. Really need to get this 4th base. He's just now getting Dragoon range too, actually, which is pretty unusual. Oh, might be able to snipe these storms. 1, 2, 3 storms being sniped, but he gets off some nice storms, taking down a lot of Hydras. If we check out the units lost tab, I've lost almost 1,000 more minerals than him. Oh, and he's now forking. Oh my god, Storm is so good in this game. Holy shit. Oh, but he loses a lot of his own units as well. But, you know, I went from 1,000 down to 2,000 down, so while, you know, while the race mechanics are different in Starbo, it's still the whole theme of Zerg is going to have a lot less cost-efficient armies, as you can see there, especially once Storm's out. And, you know, the metagame is still shifting. I don't know if Hydras are very good against TOS. I haven't gotten any Lurkers, which would definitely be very effective, especially for like securing bases. So good against Zealots. Banelings actually might not be a bad idea, although Storm does more damage in Starbo than it does in StarCraft 2, so I kind of have a feeling Banelings might not be the greatest in the world. You'll notice Hydras don't increase their speed on creep. The only Zerg unit that increases their speed on creep is the Queen. So there's not going to be a lot of chasing going on if your opponent gets out of position, like if you know, Dragoons get out of position or Archons get out of position. You're not going to be able to catch them with any units but the Zergling. Maybe the Ultralisk, obviously Mutas and stuff like that, but now he's left with only Dragoons. Dragoons actually terrible against Hydras, so I'm liking this engagement. A couple Mutas out on the field as well. Mutas do pretty well against Dragoons as well because Mutas are light, Dragoons do half damage to light units. Hydras are medium, so Dragoons only do 75% damage to Hydras, while Hydras do full damage to Dragoons, and able to cause him to flee. This 4th base should be up and mining soon. I need to start droning that up. Macro hatch on the way as well. Check out the harvesters. We're still about even. I could stand to have a couple more. Oh, these Mutas getting ahead of themselves, losing 2, maybe 3 of them to these Dragoons. Some Lings supporting wouldn't hurt either, although I don't think I have the Ling speed upgrade. No reason not to get that. Lings are just really good for surrounds and skirmishes and, you know, picking off High Templar and stuff like that. Looks like I'm going to be going for the 3rd base. He still has 2 High Templar and a lot of Dragoons. Remember, these Templar are very expensive, and gas is not that easy to come by in this game. Looks like I'm taking down a couple cannons. Is this hatchery or is this Nexus going to get out? I do have +1 attack. TT1 working on his +2 attack. Down goes the Nexus. Can I get out of there with my Hydras? Oh my gosh, no, Psy, run. Zealots are so good. You don't want to fight that. Storm's coming, and look at these Mutas trying to pick off the High Templar. 1 going down. 2nd High Templar might survive. Oh no, I could have run up there. I think the oh my god, I'm running into the Storm. Ah, so much death. 10 kills on that High Templar. Oh my god, Starbo is so good in this game. You gotta micro the shit out of Hydras. They only have 80 life. So 1 Storm can kill a Hydra after it's like been cast, after it's been on the field for like 66% of the time. Oh my goodness, Storm is so good against Hydras, but that's why I had the Mutas. That was kind of my mindset, like, let's get some Mutas. Let's try to pick off these Stormers because Dragoons don't do a lot of damage to Mutas. It takes them a while to kill the Mutas. So if I can snipe like 3 or 4 Templar and lose like 6 or 7 Mutas, that's fine because then my Hydras can clean up the Goons because you guys saw how good Hydras are against Dragoons. Not so good against Zealots, but that's where Lurkers might come into play. I kind of forgot about Lurkers in this game, to be honest. I think I might get them later, but as you can see, I have the ability to produce them, but I haven't made any of them yet. And TT1 doesn't have any observers, and that's kind of one thing I really could have benefited from. TOS, his obvious tech choice was to go for, you know, Stargate and then Templar, and he's not really prepared with the Robo until just now. He doesn't even have any observers out on the field as far as I know. I don't see any. He might have one floating around somewhere, but Lurkers would be really great just to keep him back, allow me to saturate this base, maybe even take a 5th base, and then maybe work on some Lurker drops or some Muta harass or something like that. These scary, scary Templar, 6 Templar, trying to split off some Hydras to snipe some of them. Able to take down 2 Templar, a whiffed Storm by TT1, able to take down 3 Templar with this group of Hydras, but was it worth it? That was like at least 10 Hydras just to kill 3 Templar. It's hard to say. I don't really want to do the number crunching right now, but he's got a pretty big army, and I don't have a lot of Hydras. I got 8 more on the way. Oh god, Muta's coming down now. Oh, trying to pick off some Templar. 1 going down, trying to snipe another one. 2 going down, and the 3rd one getting a pretty good Storm off, but this is not a lot of Hydras. Zealots are a very cheap, effective unit. This could just be it. I've got a lot of units rallying. Dragoons, like I said, not too good against Hydras, but these Zealots are so powerful. They soak up so much damage. That Observer's on the way as well, so Lurkers wouldn't do a whole lot. Trying to kite. This Templar doesn't have any energy, so he's just trying to taunt me with his ugly face. More Hydras swarming out. And the kite ability of the Zealots is good, but they soak up so much damage and allow the Dragoons to do so much damage in return. One more Storm coming out. Oh, dodging that Storm, just barely losing a couple Hydras to it and running back into it, destroying that Templar. These Dragoons slowly being whittled down. Hydra's sniping them away. Almost at that +2 upgrade. TT1 almost with the +2 upgrade as well. Enraged Queen's coming out to try to finish him off. Transfuses going down on these Hydras as well. And finally able to clean up that attack. Holy cow, I mean, come on, already, you guys cannot tell me that these battles are not infinitely more entertaining, long-lasting, exciting than the StarCraft 2 battles. He's even mixing in Dark Templar, saying possibly that I won't see them in the next battle, won't have detection. This is the kind of move a smart player will do when they realize, okay, my opponent's army might be better than mine, I need to mix in something tricky and really, you know, catch him off guard, and that's exactly what he's going to do here. I see my army is spread out. I don't have the best engagement route. Let me try to stall, and then let me try to go for this hatchery or this Nexus. Unfortunately, I don't have any Ling upgrades because I wasn't really focusing on Lings to, you know, for ZvP. Is this Nexus going to go down? Oh my god, it's going to be close. A couple Storms, still some Lings beating away at the top portion of the map, and no, the Nexus is not going to go down. It survives with about 200 health. If I had +1 melee attack, that wouldn't have happened. Trying to get away with that extra Ling, but not quite happening. Harvester count looking a little better. He's trying for a little skirmish of the DTs. I don't think I saw those DTs when I was running across the map. Oh boy, this could be very bad. 3 DTs can take down a hatchery so fast. They do 40 damage in this +2 upgrade, so 46. This Queen needs to run away. These drones need to run away. So much death and destruction. Hydra's intercepting some Zealots in the middle of the map. If we check out the Unisab, I only have 8 Hydras, 8 Mutants, and some Lings, where he's got a lot of Zealots, man. He's got so many Zealots, and we have not seen any Banelings and any Lurkers out of me. And he's going to be cutting off a lot of the reinforcing drones while I'm busy with the Dark Templar. He's got 3 High Templar in the back. These Mutas are going to try to pick him off, taking some heavy damage from the Archon. No, Mutas! No! Archons are so good against Mutas! Oh, that was so disgusting. But I might be able to rally enough forces to take this down. More rallying units from the south. Looks like the Hydras up on top are going to lose this battle. I do have some Overseers to scout out these Dark Templar. This Archon busy with the Muta. Muta's going to waste like crazy. Finally able to clean it up. Holy cow. Oh, but the DTs did so much damage. I'm down to 56 Harvesters once again, still running on 4 base. TT1 not quite able to expand to a 4th base, but his army is just so huge, so many Zealots, and this is really something you need either ensnare to kite them on the Viper, you need Banelings, but they're easily stormed, or you need Lurkers. I feel like Lurkers, while immobile, would be the best option in this situation, although I haven't tested the Viper a whole lot. He doesn't have any anti-air. Oh my god, if these Mutas could see these Templar, they would all be dead, but there's so many Zealots. This is what happens when you have no Lurkers or Banelings, no splash damage. I'm trying to kite them. Muta's doing a lot of damage from the air, and this is going to allow TT1 to secure his 4th base rather. And am I going to see these Templar? Oh, no, he has 1 Archon to protect them. Smart merging of the Archon there. Hydra's coming in once again, beating down these Zealots, picking off a few of them. My 4th base is up and running once again, now 59 Harvesters to 48 Harvesters. TT1 really struggling to take this 4th base, and I'm struggling to go lair tech. I just feel like there's so much happening, I have to keep making units, and I'm not balancing my tech very well with my unit production. And you can see here, even that Storm, which was pretty well landed, only did 26 damage to this Muta, so I feel like Mutas are a decent answer to High Templar because High Templar run a little bit slower than the rest of the army. You can always go behind them and pick them off. And recognizing that this Nexus was weak, oh no, Psy, move those Mutas. Recognizing the Nexus was weak, able to pick it off, so a little bit of decent Muta management right there. We haven't seen a lot of harassment out of me this game, which is kind of unfortunate because Protoss can't really wall off this because they don't have warp gates, or warp gates aren't quite as good. Oh boy, we are seeing some Lurkers do some nice damage here. No kills, but this Observer is out on the field. You know, one option that Zerg does have against Protoss is Lurkers and Scourge with Overseers. Scourge with Overseers to pick off the Observers so they can't see the Lurkers. And obviously, if you can't see Lurkers, it's pretty good. Oh man, need to get a Spine and a Spore on each base. It's really, DTs in Starbow are much stronger because Overlords can't detect. You need an Overseer for every base or a Spore for every base. And, you know, it's kind of annoying. I think DTs might be a little too strong just because of that fact that Overlords don't detect. Overseers cost extra money. It's kind of a disaster. I'm out of position because of that DT. Shifted my entire army for some reason. These Mutas are going to try to scout out some High Templar. Oh, I'm going to find them. One going down. Oh my god, two going down. Storm's go. Oh my god, beautiful storm on these Hydras trying to back out, but now running right back into it. Oh, the damage. The damage that those storms did. No Lurkers, but his retreating High Templar are going to go down. And like I said before, if the High Templars... Oh my god, clumped mutas against Archons. Ah, no! Oh my goodness. Trying to rally more units, but I have so much gas and not a lot of minerals. Like I was saying, Zerg, the gas balance with minerals is much better. You can... I should be getting Lurkers, though, with all this gas. I just don't have a lot of production coming. One Lurker just kind of chilling in the back. He doesn't have an observer that I can see. But looks like he's just got the Archons, the Dragoons. There's just so much power here. 5 Lurkers on the way. Are they going to be ready in time? This Nexus just now being started again. So TT1 multitasking himself, forgetting to restart that Nexus. That's actually kind of a huge deal. Both of us pretty short on minerals. TT1 forcing to make a lot of Zealots and very few Dragoons and a lot of Templar, just because he doesn't really have the production or the gas to make Dragoons and High Templar. Well, he didn't earlier. He kind of does now. These Lurkers going to be burrowing, spreading them out as well as I can. Of course, he does have observers. Lurkers very strong against Zealots. They do full damage to all units, 27 damage. I think, do they get 3.5 bonus per attack upgrade, or do they start at 21, or what? Maybe they start at 23 and they get +2. I don't know. I'll have to check that out. Looks like TT1's trying to secure a 5th base as well. I'm kind of surprised he's going for this one, or maybe that's just a forward pylon as opposed to this one. So we've got 5 Lurkers. Where is my army? Where is my army? I don't have an army. I have 7 Hydras and 3 mutas and just these Lurkers. So these Lurkers are going to deter his army for the time being. And you'll notice how I'm spreading them. These two can be hit, but I don't want to get hit by more than one storm. Or I don't want 2 Lurkers to get hit by a single storm is what I'm trying to say. And so I'm trying to spread them appropriately. Of course, when the Zealots run in around here, all these Lurkers will be able to shoot. And then the Hydras can clean up the rest of it, hopefully. This Lurker is still not being detected. He doesn't have any observers. Oh, yes, he does. It's over on the left side. But these Lurkers are out of position. He's just going to say, fuck those Lurkers. I don't need to fight those if I don't want to. I'm just going to go for your 4th base, or your 3rd base, rather, which is pretty much mined out anyway. And he just he's cutting off all my reinforcements. So this is actually a great position for TT1 to be in. If you're a Zerg player, you want all your hatcheries to come from all different locations and meet in one spot. But that's not really happening. These Lurkers, realizing they weren't doing a whole lot, I'm going to be moving him and burrowing him into his mineral line. But it's not going to matter. All these probes are going to die, but I don't have anything in my 4th base. All my Lurkers moved out. Rallying Hydra's just getting picked off like crazy. These Lurkers doing a good job up here, but I think I should have just kept them down here. Warping in Zealots down in the 3rd base. Going to be able to do a lot of harassment there. Spine Crawlers with 2 armor and slightly faster attack speed, I believe. Spine Crawlers are pretty good in Starbo. Slightly faster attack speed. Going to go down easily to the Zealots. And it looks like this will probably be it. I tried my best, but a severe lack of scouting, lack of harassment, lack of Lurkers, most importantly. And maybe I could have used a little better storm micro. It looks like this is going to be the death of me. Look at all that gas. That gas is just begging to be spent on Vipers or on Lurkers or on something. Enraged Queens do a ton of damage, but I don't think you're going to be enough here, Queens. 1 Queen going down. Lurkers frantically trying to create. Still on layer tech, which is a huge, huge mistake. But if you guys remember the beginning of the game, how long it took me to get that 3rd base, how much damage those 2 Zealots did, it doesn't surprise me that I'm kind of playing from behind the entire time. It seemed like I was playing from behind. I guess I had a couple, good bouts, but, just a well-deserved win by TT1. He did a lot to, harass me down here. Lots of good storms and stuff like that, but that's going to be it. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Very positive about this game. Still a bit skeptical about the strength of Storm. With smart casting, it's incredibly powerful, as well as DTs. Zerg don't have the detection they do in Brood War, and DT is just so powerful. But that's going to be it. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Stay tuned for more, high quality videos coming up. Thanks for watching.